moving. So welcome back again. My name is Stephen Talo with the program Today in Africa, a program brought to you through the kind courtesy of the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Gibson Jeru, who is based in the United States of America, doing all he can to be perspective when it comes to communication to our people. These things make a nation grow, especially radio stations that inform and give requisite information as things unfold across the globe. And fortunately for the world, Mark Zuckerberg has made word to be, most times I'm speaking, I consider village, because you don't need to be in Senegal to know about Senegal. You don't need to be Africa to know about it. Probably you may have traveled there for maybe experience school, for meeting family and all of it. But there are some things that gotta go in common that respect people. Today we having even the ECOWAS passport is because countries in the west part of Africa consented, say yes, our citizens should get access to each of us countries, so that if you go there to do sorry, if you go there to do business, you should not be intimidated. Somebody should not say, no, you're Guinean, you're Sierra Leone, you're Liberian. And you don't have to do that because that's that one making some people to discriminate, and some other people will talk about the issue of discrimination and all of it. The issue of racism is one of the reasons why people say, yeah, they man, you're not white man. So today, like I said, welcome, and the segment will be discussing all of the countries on the continent of Africa. Some days ago, especially yesterday, we discussed that was Tunisia, its formation, the population of people of Tunisia, the people dealing with parliament is being developed, like the Liberian government that has three government branches, but is and in the first branch you see lower and upper. So we discussed the parliament yesterday and the word of life that which I think if for no reason one of our lawmakers should go for parliament, they should impart or take knowledge from one of the countries of what benefiting it a citizen, which of course is a necessity. So today, as our introductory part, we get into Senegal to know much about the country. When we come back, we'll give you a bit of detail. Stevie is the name, and you're listening to Blaze FM 90.7. Please keep it. So welcome back. Welcome back. Let me begin by giving you this latest with 40 minutes past 6 o'clock. We are until 6:45. Now at 7 o'clock, the Blaze News Point, a 45-minute program comes away for the latest from Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the global world. It's here every Monday and the evening hours from Monday through Friday. And so that is what is going to be coming up later. But like I said, Senegal is on a discussion today in Africa. Now, Senegal, officially the Republic of Senegal, is the westernmost country in West Africa, situated at the Atlantic Ocean coastal line. Senegal is bordered by Mauritania to the north, Mali to the east, Guinea to the northeast, that's Guinea to the southeast, and Guinea-Bissau to the southwest. Senegal nearly surrounds the Gambia. A country occupies a narrow sliver of land along the banks of the Gambia River, which separates Senegal's a certain region of Casamance as Casamance from the rest of the country. Senegal also shares a maritime border with Cape Verde. Senegal's economic and political capital is Dakar. So La Monrovia is to Liberia, Dakar is to Senegal as the political capital. Unlike in one of the countries that I know, Africa has two capitals, and I know one day it's going to be formalized legally, where we'll be having a political capital and a commercial capital. And for me, my proposal is Ganta can be the commercial capital, then the Monrovia remains a capital city for both commercial and that of uh, that of political capital, which we need to, I mean, the issue of decentralization and it'll be work on. So yes, so Dakar, the Monrovia is to Liberia's political capital. Dakar is the political capital of Senegal. Now, Senegal is the westernmost country in the middle of the old world, or Afro-Eurasia. It owes its name to the Senegal River, which both square kilometers, equivalent to 76,000 square miles, and has a population of around 80 million population. As you know, at the country, some other countries they enjoy themselves, and I hope Liberia will. You know, we are the arguably the oldest because when you're giving some of the historical back to know that there are countries that existed. Like yesterday, when I was talking about Tunisia, I know that existed even before Africa became. I mean, if it were a continent, but when you listen to the history, you argue our 1847 whatever, but it comes to the issue of independence. So the records are there. Well, still moving up in Senegal, we'll give some news from that, but we got to know about the country which we are discussing, Republic of Senegal. And, you know, normally the people speak French, so we call it République du Sénégal. So that's the French economy, because most of the official language, which I will come to. Let me just continue to give you the information. The state is a unitary presidential republic. We got democratic elected government. We got a unitary presidential republic. Now, since the country's foundation in 1960, and one of the stories I love, in 1960, at the time Liberia was already an independent country. It has been recognized as one of the most stable countries on the African continent. It's a stable, one of the most stabilized rather. The state is a unitary presidential republic since the country's foundation in 1969. It has been recognized as one of the most stable. It has been recognized as one of the countries on the continent of Africa. On the 23rd versus them democracy indices, Senegal is ranked 52nd in electoral democracy worldwide and 4th in electoral democracy in Africa. And this is an international story that I'm giving for a country that we'll be discussing. And like I said, most of the things being discussed has to do with probably our parliament, our lawmakers will be traveling to go to the African Parliament to be listening to the colleagues. They will be giving their own experiences. There are good things too in Liberia that when they explain, the people say yes.
Yeah.
When they explain, they will say yes. We got to borrow this from Liberia. Because normally, like I said, laws that are not on your constitution, especially the constitution in 1986, when they're not there, the biggest court in a country, the Supreme Court, can borrow law. And some of the opinions that come from the Supreme Court, because the law of how to resolve the particular matter is not there, can be considered as case law. Let me say how soft to Councilor the Grand Jide Bar Association based in Monrovia. It was at the gathering, the Grand Jide gathering, on the 18th of this month, which is a monthly basis. So let me say hats up, and this is dedication to you. Now, as it is stated, the state was formed as part of the independence of French West Africa from a French colonial rule. Because of this history, French is the official language, but it is understood by only a minority of the population. Yet, granted, but they colonized Senegal, the French, because like quote unquote, we bought. I mean, the ACS is an NGO too that brought Liberia to where it is. Even though America is well respected as the world number one, and Liberia has a great connection. We got a partnership, and most times the people come in and they assist us with human rights issue. In fact, the issue of the war crime codes and the American Parliament silence, and I think that will happen. People who were devastated, who committed heinous crime, who look at human being and feel the person is an animal, should be treated and be given the penalty measure with respect to their bad doings. And when you say somebody gets first, yeah, like okay. So let's say, so for them, France is the country that colonized, that make them, colonization for me, it has to do with eye open up. Eye open up. Even though you get your transition saying and say, my man, some of us were living on our land before you. Okay, the fact is you never had backing for yourself with written communication. And most times when all of these people come, they give you reference with respect what it plays on paper, black and white is be believed. Yes, and so they even the bold learning today are black and white. And if the important people are not quoted, the teacher comes in class and asks you if you remember what was said that which you're gonna apply. And so still coming up on, like you said, minority of the people of the population speak with minority. So that means it's not early in the suburb of West Africa. Now, over 30 languages are spoken in Senegal. Where it here, okay, languages, all tribes, as we call it. But over 30 languages are spoken in Senegal. Wolof is the most widely spoken one, with 80% of the population speaking it as a first or second language, acting as Senegal's lingua franca. Alongside French, like other African nations, the country includes a wide mix of ethnic and linguistic communities, with the largest be the Wolof, Fula, and Sera people. Senegalese people are predominantly Muslim. So yeah, I know Christians, the Hunas, the Baha, they are in Senegal too, but mostly the population is made up of Muslims, and that's what it's stated Yeah, we will still go to that, but we got some 25 minutes past 6, and let me just remind to today in Africa, where we give you information from all the countries in Africa, so that probably you may. I mean, what we speak of, we know the war has become a global village. The guy, I do believe that the guy Senegalese community in Liberia, we got the Ivorian communities. And so now you listen to state radio, you hear French news. I wish you'll be coming up later on this segment of our broadcast, especially blazing the news point, which comes on shortly at 7. Let's take some basic break from the African. I mean, one of our musician, Flavor, who talks about Chini Baby. We got to give this one as just a before and a break for the next 3 minutes.
Chili baby, for so long I've been waiting. Chili baby, for so long I've been waiting for you, baby. For so long I've been longing, chili baby. For so long I've been waiting. So tell me when it's gonna be. When are you coming on back to me? I wanna know. Are you coming in June or July? Tell me now. Or will I have to wait till November or December? Chilly baby, when are you coming? Chilly baby, chilly baby, when are you coming? Chilly baby, I wanna know now. When are you coming? Chilly baby, oh chilly baby, when are you coming? I wanna know. Chini, darling, darling, darling. Whatever they told you, please don't believe them. Chini, sweetie, sweetie, sweetie. Remember the good days, remember the good times. I am wishing, wishing, wishing to hold you in my arms again, where I can kiss your lips and feel and touch you. Many, many things, baby, you're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. Tell me when it's gonna be. When are you coming on back to me? I wanna know. Are you coming in June or July? Tell me now. Or will I have to wait till November or December? Chilly baby, when are you coming? Chilly baby, chilly baby, when are you coming? Chilly baby, I wanna know now. When are you coming? Chilly baby, oh chilly baby, I wanna know. When are you coming? I wanna know. I've been waiting for so long. I've been trying to be strong. Yeah. I don't wanna wait in vain. Baby, when are you coming back? Chilly baby, when are you coming? Chilly baby, chilly baby, when are you coming? Chilly baby, I wanna know that.
Flavor with Chini Baby, when are you coming back? With just 15 minutes to the closure of this program today in Africa, as we await the news. That's Blaze News Point that starts from 7. Let me go quickly in detail with respect to Senegal. We got to know about countries we discuss in the subsequent broadcast. Like I said. But quickly, talking about predominantly Muslim, Senegal is classified as a heavily indebted poor country with a relatively low ranking on the Human Development Index, 170th out of 191. Wow. Most of the population lives on the coast and works in agriculture or other food industries. Other major industries include mining, tourism, and services. The country does not have a notable natural resources, but the basis of the development lies in education. So when you're in Senegal, if you ain't no education, mm, there it goes. Oh. So they're talking about resources even lacking. Unlike our now perspectives, things got to put into place. So I do believe in Senegal because they only depend mostly on education. So they prioritize people to be educated, and this is why you get your source of income instead of sleeping. And I think Liberians are thinking about that, especially the current government. Now, most times when we say government, we refuse to understand the definition of government by the people, of the people, for the people. So, take for instance, you living in your house, your yard needs to be clean. Do you expect the city corporation to come to you and have the area cleaned? Do you expect the duty bearers, because every government, every community should get leader, so the leader should leave his place. He has to be taking care of the children. He has to be catering to the family. Despite the fact that he cleaning your own or her own surroundings, they should come to you and tell you clean your place. Why can't we be responsible? And when I was with the Catholic Justice and Peace Commission, one of our monitors who brought this thing that was brought by the Cato Center. Every individual has to respond to his or her responsibilities responsively. 3 hours. Hour. Respond to your responsibility responsibly. That means even if you're supposed to respect the law, when they say don't pass here, even though it is a detail to pass a bill, if they pass it, that you don't need to waste debt. And if you put debt, they will punish you for that. Almost all of the statutory laws. So in Senegal, they put focus on education because the way they will get government is that most of the resources are lacking in that particular country of West Africa, and then we discuss into the in Africa. So like I said, it is classified as a debtor poor country with a relatively low ranking on the human resource development. I gave you the number quickly. Now, the country does not have notable natural resources, but the basis of its development lies in education. I just said that Senegal is a member state of the African Union, the United Nations, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, Organisation Internationale de la Francophonie. So, apart from the English solidarity of having formation with the West African, they went to the French side, International Organization of the French. So that it is where in this French, Organisation Internationale de la Francophonie for the French. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation, another one. Saharan states. In the world of motorsports, Senegal is known for the Paris, and we've been watching that on the STV most times. And etymology, the country of Senegal is named after Senegal River. The name of the river may derive from a Portuguese transliteration of the name of Zenega. That's Z or Z, Enaga, Zenega, also known as the Sahaja. Alternatively, it could be a combination of the supreme deity in certain region. And those days, I know in Liberia, even in some counties, they get a supreme language. It is also possible that it derives from the Wolof phrase Sunugal, which means volcano. Sunugal means volcano. So they use canoe. So that's meaning, I mean, this is how it came into being. These are some historical facts that were written. So much about Senegal. If you want to take a try, you want to go there and do a bit. Because I spoke with some of my friends at the University of Liberia, and them, I mean, why I got to do in French country? Why you get me ambassador? Tu peux parler le français? Il faut French, les calling plein de S. So quickly, the total area is 196,722 kilometers square, equivalent to 75,955 square miles. It is population as of 2024 is estimated at 80,847,519. GDP estimate is the GDP estimate is a total of 78.547 billion. The GDP 78.547 billion, and it becoming 106th in the world, 7 on the continent. Per capita, 4.324. GDP number, the nominal one, GDP in 2023 estimate is 31 million. That's 31.141 billion. 111. So the currency they use, their money. When you go in there, the money is all asked for. To the, I don't know whether we get ambassador of Senegal here. Yeah, is West African CFA, France CFA, CFA. How you call it? So that's France CFA. So early and I mean sooner or later, I think I got less than 6 minutes, but sooner or later we'll be taking about early and pre-colonial eras archaeological findings throughout the area indicate that Senegal was inhabited in prehistoric times and has been continuously occupied by various ethnic groups. Some kingdoms were created around the 17th century. So Senegal, Nana Jenati, yeah, it too long, yeah, very very long, yeah. So let's go back to our theme song. Let's go back to our theme song quickly. We'll soon be wrapping up. Yeah, we'll be wrapping up. Well, welcome back, and a reminder you listening to Today in Africa on Blaze FM 90.7, coming to you live from the rehab community that's Old Boston Point, outside the nation's capital, Monrovia. And coming up next, we got the Blaze News Point coming your way via this same entity. That's Blaze FM 90.7 with me, Stephen Talu. All about this time. We will wrap it up quickly from the latest the latest where African elections show democracy should not be taken for granted. That's one of the headlines here from Senegal. So this is why we'll be looking at this as our final story for the day. Each time we come, we'll begin with the origin of the country to learn more about it. And I know Liberia is comprised of foreigners, people, even in various communities. You see people from Senegal, from Guinea. I mean, most of the countries. And I know in some of the BB offices, you will see that they get consultants who are having some company giving some consultation with respect to what they do for the upbeing, for the businesses, for the well-being, for the employment. But we hope and pray that the law will be open up as the arrest agenda is trying to do all in his power to see how they wrap up development for this country. Quickly, Senegal's fire play peacemaker and help a splintered West Africa bloc, especially ECOWAS, that's ECOWAS transitions. Sorry, especially ECOWAS tensions with Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso could roll back years regional diplomacy and affect security partnership. That's from the youngest. Right now, the continent is is the youngest president. Nearly a year ago, West Africa seemed alarmingly on the verge of war. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, was threatening military intervention in Niger if the leaders of the countries, July 26, did not immediately relinquish power and free President Mohamed Bazoum after the military government in Niamey failed to respond. ECOWAS activated its tenfold raising alarm bells across the region as citizens began to protest. That was it happened in Niamey, that's Niger, and ECOWAS. I don't know. We still got to have some international meetings to see how their scope can be improved, because the international community too is just choking Africa. I don't know, because of some of the development in this place, and these are stories that will be coming up. Burkina Faso and Mali. Niger's fellow military-led neighbors who were already suspended from the bloc joined to form the Alliance of Sahel States (AES) and pledged to defend against any attacks threatening to widen the conflict. You see that? Tempers then come, but only slightly. ECOWAS backtracked, instead slapping crippling sanctions on Niger, blocking its land and air borders, cutting off electricity supply from a neighboring Nigeria, and freezing commercial transactions. On January 29, the AES states jointly declared their exit from the ECOWAS, sending shockwaves through the regional bloc that was already seen weak. There are a lot of things that are supposed to be happening in Africa, so this program is meant for a lot of things. At this junction in BLA, we got to be discussing it, and we hope to be Johnny, the man Beletar from the University of Liberia, and a gender who doing his gender studies there, to give us some important information with respect to the usage of women in political decision making, whereas Liberia is asking for 30% representation of female in the House of Parliament. I think this is going to be very necessary. So with 15 minutes after 7, we leave you at this junction on today in Africa. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be back with a brand new edition with different country on the headlines topping, and the significance will be met subsequently as we broadcast over the latest from you. You gotta know much of the African country. You're an African, and the issue of the EU, the ECOWAS, and all of our political institutions in the Sahel, the South Africans, per region, most of these people find a political alliance, but then ECOWAS is sometimes not getting too robust when it comes to things that happen, especially the coups that take place on the West African, in the West African countries. So that does it. Thank you so much for being a part. Coming up next is a Blaze News Point that runs up from 7 to 7:45. It comes away every day from Monday through Friday from 7 to 7:45 in the morning and 7 to 7:45 p.m. every day. Thank you so much for being a part. Stephen Talo. I'll be back tomorrow.
Is that delicious? Appalicious.
Yeah, man. I started just starting now.
That power of a woman, so strong can make you kill your mama. So strong than dollar, so strong than pound, and even naira. The power, the body of the woman can even make the pastor sing and drive you crazy. Make your head spin as jolly they go. The body, sexy body, body, current apple, sweet apple, juicy apple, taste apple, current apple, sweet apple, juicy apple, taste apple. Who said one of the power? Who said one of the power? Who said one of the power? You get a superpower. Who said one of the power? Who said one of the power? Who said one of the power? You get a superpower.
Smile and your dimple. You the shock in your life to be simple. You the deal, you the taste like apple. If it true that my get no be sample. If you touch my body, you the take kill. Come hold me tight like a pistol. And use me everywhere to chisel. And therefore I be a rough, I go whistle. I know simple now, dear, you get power. So you be used me any hour. Left and right on any corner. Today be your day, so you for hammer. Stand at the start and now. I play grass down now, yes.